Hey, it's Scott here again, and I'm going to do another video on working overdue shipments. But in this one, I'm going to concentrate really on overseas and consolidations because they are really a little bit different than what we researched in that last video I did. So I got some stuff pulled up here, and I'm looking at one of the bases over in the AOR, 4835, and I found this order that's overdue. And just like I did in the earlier video, right? Open up all the tabs. Not transactions. Oops. Tracking. And, take a look and pretty much do the same thing, right? I'm going to come in here, refresh tracking info, go to GTN and see what they got to say. And then I want to show you what happens with a lot of these overseas shipments and how they get consolidated. So real quick while that's going, this part was ordered Army depot somewhere, AKZ. You notice I don't have the courier order because I don't have an interface with the Army. They shipped it, but a lot of times this ship status, right? They shipped it on 26 November and it went, all right, see GTN came back. So they shipped that to Portsmouth, Virginia. Okay, because what's going to happen is it gets to Virginia and it's already departed and it's on a boat in the sea van somewhere heading for the AOR. So what I would do in this case, just like the ones I showed going to Osan where they came into a port, is this happened on the 26th of January. And I would update the status on this because although it left the depot on 26 November, it left there and went to Virginia. And then it set in Virginia at the port as they loaded up a sea van and put it on a boat. So now it's in the middle of the Atlantic somewhere coming across. So what I do, and to confirm that, right, you can take this TCN, and I've already come over here to Tracker, and I search for that TCN. And what you want to look for is this TAW. That's a consolidated shipment status. We're going to try within ILSS to get a copy of these TAWs and see if we can't update the status. Because even though that's the TCN, you see this right here, this highest consolidated. I'm pretty sure, that's the new TCN. And if I query that, you'll see that there's a lot of stuff consolidated into that lead TCN. So what we're thinking, without talking to a transporter, is that's probably a sea van. Tracker for some reason been asking for my PIN 100 times. There we go. Because if you look, when I query on that lead SW, go away. All these requisitions, right? You can see each individual one for FB 4835 are all consolidated in that same container. So if you go down here, you'll see that L, there it is right there, that 162 L suffix is in that container. And that container, like I said, is somewhere in the Atlantic. Now what I've done in the past is just to kind of confirm my theory is I will go run document number inquiry. Because, right, if that container hasn't made it to thumb rate, then none of these should be receipted in. They all should still be loaded. FB, was it 4835? No. Yeah, 4835. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, so all these due in should still be loaded. There's my failover page again. Yeah, so we want to find some way that we can use that TAW to automatically update. Now you see what happened here is I got a ship status but no due in. You see right here where it says the sub requisitions tar receipt. So that one met the auto loss. Must have been less than $100 and it's late. So the system automatically got rid of that one. Of course, the one I'm looking at here, is 20,000 bucks. We're not going to automatically get rid of that one. Now I can see where somebody was working this, and this is why we got to get rid of the tar transaction, because this individual ran a tar action code B, and that did nothing. That goes way back to when we had the tar listing, NGV 597, and I'm going back 6 or 7 years now. When you ran all those different tar action codes, A, B, F, R, I don't remember what they all were, and all that did is it changed the type trans flag on the ship status detail. That's all that did. And I can show you that real quick, because if I take that document number and I come over here and run a query, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because the way that was built years ago is you ran those different type tars, and that moved it on the NGV 597 report. So when he did that tar B, it changed the type trans flag to an M on the ship status detail. And that's all it did. And what that would do is it would move it to a different part of the NGV 597 list. Well, all that's gone now. We don't look at that type trans flag M for anything anymore. So that's why I say we got to get rid of the tar transaction totally. The only 2 tar transactions that actually still do something, we've already converted those, right? The LOS, that used to be the tar splat, right? That gets rid of the due in, does a short receipt. You do an SDR or TDR. The tar D, which is now ASD, that deletes the ship status. And in my first video, you seen where I did the ASD because I had some bad ship status loaded. So those 2 tars are still relevant, and that's why we converted those. So we want to lose all the other tar action codes. They don't do anything. So in the future here, we're gonna get rid of that tar screen. There's no use for it anymore. Some of those tars, for those that work the ROD or the SDR program, some of those action code tars would control whether or not it showed up on the old ROD listing. 586, I forgot what the number was, but that list is gone now. You manage SDRs within ILSS. So really, there's no use for it anymore. So this individual, probably old school, used to work tars a long time ago, did a tar B thinking they were doing the right thing, but it didn't do anything. So what I'm going to do, just like I did on my earlier video, this thing departed. It's on a boat on the 26th of January. So I want to update the status. I want to make sure I get the right mode Q. All right, so I'm going to say this thing 026 day, mode Q, 026, and update that. At least now, right, it's off the overdue, because it's, we know where it's at. It's in the middle of the Atlantic. Remember, I'm impatient, so let's refresh my order. And now the clock starts over. Oh, that is not good there. Huh, look at that. All right, so something, I didn't look at that inquiry, but obviously we got some ship status. We got some duplicate ship statuses out there. Let's go back and look at that inquiry. Due in for maintenance, due out. I got a due in for 1 and a ship status for 1. Interesting. All right, something is not right on this one. This might be a good example. Because I should only have 1 ship status detail. These 2 aren't even overdue because they show my 26. I'm going to try something. All right, so I tried deleting one of those. Let's see what that did. Yeah, working these statuses can be tricky sometimes. We definitely got to find a better way. Yeah, see, I still got 2. All right, I'm going to keep deleting. I want to get rid of that one. I'm going to get rid of all the ship statuses and then load a new one back with the right date. Come on. And let's get rid of that one. Okay. All right, let's see what we got left here. I'm going to come over here and rerun this inquiry too. All right, I got a status ship. I got a build not received detail because they did bill me for it. Suffix code L, there's my ship status, but it has the old date. So now I'm going to try to update that one more time. But I think my mistake was I got to put an L there, 026, Q, 026. All right, I know I'm flying around here, but I just want to run the inquiry and see. Yeah, so now I got 2 status ship details. That is crazy. Well, you know, I got to research this, but I think that type trans flag from that tar B is hanging that ship status out there for some reason. Another reason we got to get rid of tars. Yeah, so I might have to go in and do a little manipulation there to get rid of that one. All right, so this was a bad example maybe. But anyways, you see the consolidation off that TAW when you look in tracker. And this is still going to show, well, no, it doesn't show overdue anymore because, see, I got both those ship status details out there. I need to get rid of one of them, but at least they both have the 26 January 2019 date on them. So it's not overdue anymore. The clock started from that date, 60 days, I think, for overseas. The interesting thing to note is I don't know why that priority 2 with the JCS project code is moving by boat, but it is. That's a whole nother issue. So anyways, that's what I wanted to show you real quick on ones that are consolidated. You know, we show that consolidated TCN out here at the side, but, you know, if you noticed on that one I was just working, it didn't have that SW as the TCN on the ship status. I really think that's what we got to try to change. I need to take that TAW, get that SW, you know, that highest consolidated TCN that was there. This one, the SW, and we need to put that on the 211 detail. That'll show that every one of these TCNs for 4835 are all under this lead TCN coming across the pond on a boat. So anyways, that's my take on TAWs and overseas. This happens a lot going to Europe, and I'm sure you'll see the same thing going to the PACAF side. So again, this one's short and sweet. If you have any questions, any ideas, suggestions, shoot me an email, give me a call. Thanks a lot.